welcome back to another episode of Tiger Insider. I guess today we can expand the title of Tiger Insider to Future Tiger Insider or to Timberwolf Insider. So today we are joined by Tim Rubey, the head football coach at Fulbright Junior High, which is a feeder to the Tigers. So thank you, Coach Rubey.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This has been a cool series to watch and everything. It's good to learn about other coaches and everything. So
it's good. We're trying to expand. We got a lot of coaches to go. On our side, which is Washington, Fulbright, and Bentonville High School, there's about 80-some coaches.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's a lot.
You've made the top 12.
There you go. Good, good.
So sometimes people offer to come. Sometimes they have to be begged to come.
Yeah.
So thank you for, I know everyone's busy and you got a lot going on. So right, let's get to it. So tell us a little bit about if Tim Rubey has a football card. Right?
Yeah.
You've heard this before. What is it going to say on the back of your football card?
Born and raised in Jinx, Oklahoma, 6 foot. I won't say my weight. Right-handed. I was born and raised in Jinx, Oklahoma, just south of Tulsa, and I went to Jinx schools my whole life, K through 12, and I actually lived in Jinx, so it was a great experience, and I miss it some, but being over here is great too.
So that's a hotbed, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little about Jinx history for those people that don't know. I mean, that is one of the premier programs.
Yeah, it was. Jinx schools and athletics is a lot like Bentonville athletics. It sounds very cocky, but like excellence is expected. It was one of those things when I was a little kid, I wanted to play for the Trojans, and I got to do that. And I got to win a state championship in 1996. I had some really good teammates that went on to bigger colleges and everything like that, but it was great. It was a neat time. That time in '96, we won one, and then the football team ended up winning like 7 in a row at that time. So it's a very successful program. Coach Trimble got it. He won a ton of state championships there, but it was a cool school. It's cool to compare both of the school districts and athletic departments. So like not just football, but like all the sports in Jinx are, it's fun, very successcal programs.
Yeah, I know when I see it on our schedule playing them football, or like you said, in any sport, when we're competing against Jinx, that's a quality program, and it's something that, over the past 20 years or so, 15, 20 years, Bentonville been a model program for us to follow. So, all right, growing up in Jinx, obviously a hotbed and success. Who were some of your influences to lead you down the path that you've?
So my mom is a elementary school teacher. She still is. She's been teaching for over 50 years. I don't know why she's kind of crazy.
Did you say
50, yeah. So this is her 52nd year. She started in 1970 in the Jinx district, taught her whole time in Jinx. So like she's the Mary May of Jinx is what I say. But I grew up in a school. Like I was at school all the time. I thought being a teacher and a coach would be the coolest job, and I still think it's a pretty cool job. I always admire the coaches that I grew up with, not even, middle school, junior high, or not middle school, high school, all of that stuff in there. So I just really liked it there. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. My 2 other brothers got into education too. So one is a administrator in the Jinx School District, and my other one's an administrator in Missouri. So we're an education family. I thought it was the coolest job you could ever have, just being a teacher and a coach. So that's what got me into the teaching aspect and what my life was like. So I grew up in a school. Like it was just kind of, everything revolved around the school and the sports and all that kind of stuff. So.
It's cool. An education family. It's in the veins.
It's in the veins. That's right.
In the veins. So in the veins led you to that. So was there any coach or any?
Yeah, I had several coaches. I had Coach Trimble, who was a remarkable influence. He was an awesome coach, but he was a really good man. And he unfortunately passed away a couple years with ALS. But just a good, he's a very humble guy. I mean, he could have been cocky and arrogant, but really humble guy. I learned a lot from him. I actually learned a lot from the coach that was there before him, Coach Ron Lancaster. And I had coaches along the way. My quarterback's coach, Coach Gross, that was there, who's a Holland Hall coach in the Tulsa area. I learned a lot from those guys, and just how they conduct a practice, a game, how they carry themselves, all that kind of stuff. They were huge influences, and I felt like, man, if I could just be a part of that. And I feel like coaching, besides playing, is the closest thing you can get to that. So that's why I wanted to get into it. I knew immediately I wanted to get into it. So
cool. All right, tell us a little bit about your teaching, because we know when you're a coach in Bentonville, you're also a teacher in Bentonville. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I went to a small private school in Kansas City called William Jewell College. I was a history major and an education major. So I've taught social studies for 22 years, all the classes for 22 years. And I love the teaching part of it. A lot of people aren't surprised that I teach that, both of them, because like history and sports go together. But I really like teaching. It's a good profession, and I think I always don't want to push it to people, but it's something I always recommend to people that I'm never regretted one day of working as a teacher or a coach, for sure. So
cool. How long have you been in Bentonville?
So I moved to Bentonville in 2010. I had been teaching 9 years prior to that. I was at Washington for 3 years, and then our school opened up in 2013. So it was so I love it here. Bentonville's a great, like I said, it kind of reminds me of Jinx and kind of what's expected and things like that. So.
Okay. A big part of our success at the high school level on Friday nights when we're talking about the football program is, the kids learning the game the right way. And to me, the most important part of that is our 7th and 8th grade programs.
Yes.
So just talk a little bit about some of the things you get to do with being the head coach at Fulbright Junior High to get those kids ready.
I think the one thing I tell our coaches is we don't want to be a reason someone has a negative or a bad experience playing football. Kids can grow, and we have kids every year that don't start but go on to play. And do really well for the Tigers, later on. But we just want to make sure that we instill the same kind of core principles that the Tigers instill, and we kind of start that, and then they can build on it as they get into older grades.
And you've had success.
Yeah, we've won a couple of conference championships, had a couple of undefeated seasons. Excuse me. So, but
it's fun to watch.
Yeah, good deal.
It's good. All right. What's the favorite part of your job?
I love every day's different. That's something that's really cool for me, so I love that part of it, and I love that just being with people, so it's great.
Most difficult part of your job?
Most difficult part is trying not to have the discouragement with kids and then relating to younger kids as I get older. But I'm doing fine with it. It's just that it's tough, and I really stress out about, are we having the right kids in the right spots that are good for the team? And that's like not calling a play on 4th and 2. That's easy, but like making sure we have the right kids in the right spot, and one kid doesn't get to play as much, that's tough. So that makes it tough.
And you're kind of that first door opening to school sports where you might have some people in the stands or on the sideline that think they might know more than you, right?
Exactly. So it's tough. So
that's good. It's good. So when you think back to your time with the Timberwolves, do you have a favorite moment? Or
I have two really cool Tiger and Fulbright. The 2 championships that we've won undefeated, and then 2 years ago, 2020, we won, and it was cool because we beat Washington. Not that it wasn't cool, but it was like, that's awesome because Bentonville, both those schools go to Bentonville. And then this last year, the state semifinal game, and it's cool. I still think about it all the time. It was like, I just remember feeling so great that they got to go to the state championship game, but seeing where they came from, all those kids, and being a part of that. So I love that part of it. I was there when Bentonville won the state championship, the last one, but I didn't really have a lot of those kids, but now all of our junior highs now are like Washington and everything have a big imprint on the program. So
it's cool to see the progression of the kids and the coaches, and I think you guys do a really good job.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's kind of the first part of being a Timberwolf to be a Tiger.
Yeah, definitely.
It's cool. You guys do a good job with that. So thank you very much. All right, I got some quick questions now, some fun type stuff. All right,
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, let's go.
First job.
First job was by the way, they used to have these things called grocery sackers, and I was a sacker at Albertsons at 81st and Yale in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it was a great job.
That's good. That's good. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Probably not everybody watching remembers that.
Paper or plastic? That's I had to ask that every. I had to ask that 100 times a day. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, favorite type of food?
Oh man, I love Mexican food, but I love trying new foods in just general. So I like to go out there on a limb, and like one of my favorite shows to watch is Bizarre Foods, where he eats crazy things. So I'm one of those guys. So I'll give it a shot.
All right. Is there a favorite restaurant? Or?
Favorite restaurant in town is Peddler's Pub. That's a great restaurant. There's also like a great Tuscan Trotter is one of my favorite too. So that's my favorite restaurants I recommend to people. So
cool. All right. Best advice you've received?
I think the best advice I received is, especially in coaching, is I had a coach tell me, he's like, you have to play the right player for the team, not the right player for the position. So what that means is, yeah, he might be the best player at this position, but is he the best player for the team at that position? And that's something I've always make sure it's in the forefront of my mind when I'm coaching everything. So
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Tim Rubey is going on vacation. Where are you going?
Well, I'm actually going to New York City for spring break. I love New York City. I've been there 4 or 5 times. I haven't been to Europe yet, and I would love to go to Italy, so that would be mine.
So you like to travel?
Yeah, I do. I get to travel every once in a while. Yeah, it's good.
Cool. Okay, I know it's in your veins, teaching and the coaching, but if you weren't a teacher or a coach, that wasn't part of the equation, what could you see yourself doing?
I could see myself being like a researcher or something like that, just technical research with a company or a product or something like that. I think I would like to do that kind of stuff, an analyst, I guess, kind of thing. So, yeah. Cool.
How about a favorite possession that you have?
Favorite possession? I don't have a whole lot of favorite possessions. Probably my 65-inch TV. So that's good. It's great. That's good. So yeah,
I can definitely understand that. You're a practice guy or a game guy?
I was in the one going back to the influences. I think practice is really important, and I stress more the practice because I tell players all the time. And the way I was coached growing up, the one thing with Coach Trimble and Coach Lancaster, they wanted to make practice tougher than a game. So when we got into a game, it was easy. So I think a little bit of both. I like the games. There's nothing better than a game, but I think you have to put in the work first to get to enjoy the game.
Okay. How about this? Are you a book reader, a podcast listener?
Yeah, both. I love reading books. I've gotten into Audible, and I've always listened to podcasts ever since that was kind of a medium. But I love documentaries over any kind of subject. Not to get off on a side chain, one of the favorite documentaries, and it's about Jiro loves sushi, and it's about this 90-year-old sushi guy in Tokyo who's the world's best sushi guy, but the dedication he's had his whole life to something, I just think that's cool to see, even though it's just like he makes sushi, but the pride he took into it, so it's kind of a cool thing. So, yeah.
Cool. What was the name of it?
Jiro loves sushi. I think it's Jiro and sushi. Jiro something. Oh, that sounds terrible. I don't even know. So, but
that's good. That's good. All right, last question. Something that we talk about is Tiger DNA. Mm-hmm. I think that starts early.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you when you hear Tiger DNA?
I think Tiger DNA means you are ready to, you're expected to do good things, but with that comes hard work and outworking people, and I think ethic, grit, all that kind of stuff. And then I think being a good person. I think that's a lot of it. One of the great things about Tiger coaching staff here is they're all good men, and a lot of the coaches here are great people, like just in general. If they weren't coaching or anything like that, I think that helps. And I think that is a great way kids get to see that as they go up, to be influenced by awesome teachers, awesome coaches, and everything. So
it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're busy. I appreciate you stopping by and us getting to know Coach Tim Rubey a little bit better. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach.